Good morning, everyone. It's Trader Rob. Today is Monday, January 12th. All right, we got some setups coming up pretty quickly here on the NQ and on the ES. So the NQ was looking for a short at the 25,892 and a quarter, targeting the 883.75, TP2 at the 877.25, with a stop at the 902 and a quarter. On the ES, we're looking at a short at the 69.91.50, targeting the 69.89 and the 69.87 and a quarter. So depending here, and then we also have got a signal in gold, taking along at the 45.92.5, TP1 at the 45.94. I'm sorry. 45.95.4, TP2 at the 45.97 with a stop at the 45.88. We did have a nice reaction right to that first zone, which was the darker gray area. Looked like a decent area there to take a trade. Now, the only issue here is I would definitely want to see some type of candle confirmation or a footprint confirmation for an entry, as this does look a little sweepy here at the bottom. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Do have an area right here on the NQ that I'm definitely, it's got some unbalanced volume here right prior to open. So I'll be taking a look at this one as well. Probably with a footprint confirmation, might be on a little bit of a bigger time frame footprint confirmation there for me. So that's a little bit bigger area. Morning, Steve. Like to see if we can hold off on this trade for at least a couple of minutes. I don't necessarily know that we're going to get that opportunity here. This might come pretty quick. So again, set up at for the NQ short at the 25.892 and a quarter, targeting the 883.75, TP2 at the 25.877. And the ES, we've got this set up here at the 699.150, targeting the 69.89 and the 87 with a stop at the 69.96. Let's get into footprint confirmation mode here. This ES looks like it's going to come in first, possibly here. see. You know what? I actually feel better with a footprint confirmation on the ES, and I'm actually thinking I'm going to take this one here on a resting limit. So I'll watch the ES a little closer. Let me switch over to the ES footprint. We'll see here what we can get. So remember, on my footprint confirmations, I'm looking for a red footprint candle with green positive delta. A lot of positive delta here. Don't want to see it going into TP2 here. The NQ looks like, did we just, man, we just swept that one too. It's pretty close to an invalidation there for me as well on the NQ. Son of a bitch. All right, so we just got the tap. Oh, man. I missed that one. Did not get a footprint confirmation there, though. That would have got you your TP1. Son of a gun. Should have left the resting limit order on the ES, TP1 and TP2. And that was a signal I provided to my signal members this morning. Now the NQ, let's see what happened here. I came about 3 points there. Let's see what the 92s are doing. I'm gonna have to take this one off for right now. I'll have to wait for a footprint confirmation there. Dang it, man. That was an easy 4-pointer. I hit right to TP2. So I'm not on a resting limit order here just because of this earlier sweep here. Came about 2-3 points from my entry and then obviously had a really nice reaction. So I kind of used up some of the bullets there that I was looking for in volume. I figure on the trigger here, just waiting to see if I get a footprint confirmation. Did not get a footprint confirmation there. TP1 was hit. TP1, TP2 both hit on that trade. Let's get this thing finish out here. Come on. All right, so both signals went for TP1, TP2. Was not able to get into either one of those two trades. I mean, zero drawdown, guys. ES and NQ. All right, let me do some updates here. A little bit more difficult in the first couple of minutes of the market open with the footprint confirmations, but you also have that risk of the high volatility there. But yeah, those were two really perfect setups there. All right, let's close out these signals. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. Dad had to give me a call. He's having an issue with the tire. Seems like everybody's having issues with tires lately. All right, so let's clean up the charts here. ES and Q both went for TP1, TP2. Now, E and Q just left a nice little pocket right here by breaking some structure here. So let's see. Let's see what the market wants to do here on the ES. ES most likely will see a smaller reaction here. So it'll be a pretty small scalp here on the ES. All right, so that guy's in. Let's go to an ES footprint here. Let's see what's cooking. Okay, the 710s looks a little sweepy here. So we got to be cognizant of this area right here, and we want to see a pretty quick reaction here. And probably only target TP1 here instead of going for TP1 and TP2. And this NQ, we'd be looking here. It's a want to see just what kind of reaction we get at this point right here, right now. Morning, AP. Morning, Coach Cleats. Well, setup's a bit on fire. Gave a signal last night to my signal members that also hit TP1, TP2. That ES trade that I had mapped out for you guys on Friday, we kind of dissected that one a lot as far as that area where the 45-day point of control was at. That only went for TP1, missed TP2 by a tick on that one. I'll show that that trade here in a little bit. So again, we're on the ES here. Looking at a short at the 70.04, targeting the 70.0150. TP2 69.99.75 with a stop at the 7.009. We do have a high sweep area up here at the 710s. So looking for just a really quick reaction here at the 7.004s. We can get it. And right now I'd just be targeting TP1. You know, guys, I'm going to lower my stop here, right to right here. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. That's not my entry there. Let that preview go away. There we go. Shit. So about a 2-point stop now. See if we get a confirmation here or not. Morning, Nate. Morning, Skills. Looking to short the 04s. I'm going to raise now my stop to the 7.008s. So 2 setups early here this morning, about 5 minutes after the market opened, probably about 10 minutes after the market opened. TP1 and 2 on the ES and the NQ. So I'm looking here in this pretty much right at right. I want price action across the 25,869, and then I'm going to be looking for a footprint confirmation with a 15-point take profit, 15-point stop loss. This is a bigger, let's see here. Bigger area for me, not a scalp. Well, it's still a scalp, but I've got two kind of clusters that are sitting very close to each other here. Don't like this slow roll on the ES at all. The setup to me right now is about a B-. So it's going to have to be a perfect footprint confirmation. I'm going to have to see something really beautiful happen there. Let me take a look at gold really quickly. That might have been the candle right here. Possible. Might have been the candle right there. It's a quick morning. Mapped out one here on gold. Look at that. We literally just right tapped into that one. Gold comes really quickly. Let's see here if we get something. Alright, there's a tap into the zone. So, and again, I'm just looking for a footprint confirmation here. Red, I'm looking for a green footprint with negative delta. So if this closes up, I will get into this trade. Because we do have a good amount of negative delta there. As long as we don't burn through it. Okay. Let's adjust my stop here to, let's bring these two guys in together. Bottom there. All right, let's see what happens here. So first target's 15 points, target 2 is 20. Pretty much the bulk of the position size is being taken off on target 1, which is 3 contracts there at 15 points. And then I'll just go to break even after that. And for those of you that would rather see it on a candle, let's see. Strong selling pressure right now. Do have a really good amount of volume sitting right here, so if I do get knocked out of this trade, I will look for another footprint confirmation in this area because I know this is going to be a pretty high reactionary zone. I'll go through that one. That was our first roadblock right there with the 90s. After that, TP1 should be in play here. So we got a lot of pressure at the 900s, so I'm going to move both of my targets at the 15 points. Hopefully lock in a trade here. Lock in a win. Nah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see them flip that there. Felt if we can get back into these 890s, TP1 is definitely in play. But market might have other ideas. I didn't like that flip right there. Well, it's definitely an area of contention, that's for sure. They're building pressure again at the 890s. Shit. It seems like they're defending the 890s pretty good. It's got to go through here. Gotta go through here. Come on. Just break through those 90s. Break through the 90 right here. Jeez, I don't like it. Don't like that. Having a really hard time getting through here. Shit. Come on. Just take it. Go to the 900s. Oh, right there. Nicely done. Nicely done. Right exactly where I thought, the 900s. Let's go. Let's go. Morning, I'm Vega. Ooh, that was a fun one. That was a fun one. Nice footprint confirmation. Did make me sweat there a little bit. Let's go, AP. Let's go, Keith. Patel, let's go. Carrie, let's go. So let's jump into the ES. So let me just show you this trade that I mapped out on the gold. I didn't even have enough time to show this one here. But my area for the reaction would have been at the 46.14s. And we missed that one right there. That was tough. That was tough. That was not even... I just had a lot of focus there on the NQ and the ES. Let's go, guys. If you haven't hit the like button on the stream, I highly appreciate it. Gold is just reacts so well to my strategy. So well. I think I've mapped out about 8 or 9 setups and I haven't seen one blow through it. All right, let's go look at this ES trade that I'm not very fond of right now. Let's see. So the 806s sitting right around here. That's what they're protecting pretty strongly. Not super fond of this one yet. So, Ticken, that is a new order management indicator by Affordable Indicators, and it's pretty sweet. So I've been using Trade Devil's trade management control panel for about 3.5 years. The nice thing that I like about this is I have full flexibility in rearranging my targets, combining them, splitting them. You know, if I want to take a trade right here and I've got an ATM set, if I just click on market, hold on. So like if I want to do a market buy here, it'll preview me my TPs and my stops. And the nice thing is that which Ninja does not have. If you put a resting limit order here, you don't even see where your stops are at. I mean, obviously you can see it once you're in a trade, but it doesn't preview it. The nice thing is that once you set it, your TPs are, you can manually adjust your preview to match up exactly where you want that ATM strategy to close out at. So I've been pretty fond of this system. Another very cool feature that they have that's not available on Ninja. So right now I've got 4 charts up here. I've got the NQ, the ES, and gold. Well, let's just say those 3 charts because the other one's a footprint chart. In regular Ninja, if you're on the same window but you have multiple tabs open, the same account will always stay at the top. Well, if you've got something that you want to change on different tabs, each tab is individualized with the indicator, which Ninja, again, does not have that capability of doing. So that, I think, is pretty damn sweet. And if you look, they've got a great feature for your execution. Super clean. It's not like Ninja's where it's, you get all the text. And I know you could do this with Ninja, but it, 4 contracts long, 15 points was my take profit. It all displays it really nicely. So I like it. Guys, if you give me a second, I'm going to go refresh my coffee. Let's take a look at the NQ. That second reactionary area that I had spotted still sits down here, which looks to be like still a pretty strong area. So I will take a look at this one as well. I'm just really not fond of this ES trade at all anymore. No, they are really strong at the 707s now. Yeah, too close to my stop. And putting an entry up here at the 707s really doesn't make much sense to me, because that's not where I see the unbalanced volume. Still see it at the 704s. Gold has pretty much balanced everything out now on the move to the upside there. So nothing really in gold there. Like I said, the NQ here is an area that I would be interested in, but I would have to see a good footprint confirmation here. All right, pretty decent start to the week here. All right, let me know if anyone of you guys took that NQ trade for a TP. I know my Signal Service group, a bunch of them did. Michael Denzi just hit my payout threshold on 2 Apex funded accounts. Now we'll see if they pay out or if the horse are. Yeah, you follow the rules, man. They'll pay you. All right, 3 minutes for IB to be set. Let's get that indicator on. Yeah, we've just been hanging around here way too much. Way too much. This trade for me is no bueno right now. They've balanced everything out on my TP1s and 2s. And like I said, they've got this big pocket up here at the 707 through the 710s. That just looks really suspicious to me. Just going to listen to my trade result folder in my head. Yeah, it's the one that I've always traded on the NQ. I've mapped it. I do have it mapped out on the ES as well. I don't have it on the indicator on the chart, but I do have it on my footprint, so I can take a look at it on the side. And for some reason, it just always seems like I'm always just so fixated on the NQ that I haven't really had. I haven't put the time in to really backtest the criteria for the ES as well as I have with the NQ. You know, the 15-point stop and TP on the NQ seems to be a really nice number that they like. At least with the footprint confirmation on my end. But the ES, I haven't had enough back testing time with it to see if it's a 5-point stop, a 5-point take profit. But the concept is pretty much the same. Like I always say, I think if you have a strategy, the strategy's got to work throughout all instruments. Nothing good in gold right now. They've balanced everything up to the upside. Again, the ES, the only thing I see is that right there. Be right back. All right, NQ's making a little move here to the downside. Again, even though we took a trade up here, right over here. This was the secondary area that I had mapped out for some unbalanced volume here. So let's see how it reacts, especially to this high volume node right here. It was quite entertaining last night. I hopped onto YouTube and was taking a look at some of the Bears highlights from Saturday's game. What a freaking game that was against the Packers. They had no business winning that game whatsoever, but they just find a way. It's pretty crazy. And I even said on stream a couple weeks ago that I don't think that their method of winning games would work in the playoffs. And they proved me wrong on that one. I almost felt bad for the Packers. I really felt like they should have won that game. As much as I was dying for the Bears to win. But after that, I was there was a video that popped up on my feed. I don't know, some trading influencer. And I've seen his videos pop up. I can't remember the guy's name. I don't know. He's the one with like talks about the Lambos and all the cars and shit like that. But anyways, I started looking at his video, and I was looking at a few of his earlier videos, and the video that he had just posted was about, now he's incorporating the volume profile into his trading strategy, and he's like, and this is what's going to give me the edge now. And I'm like, yeah, I could see that, buddy. So what were you doing prior to that, I guess? I guess he's big on trading FVGs, fair value gaps. So I was looking at a few of his earlier videos just to kind of get some editing ideas, and I'm kind of a one-person shop here. So he's big on some orb strategy that he's got with a fair value gap. And then he's now with this new secret indicator with the volume profile. Now you get a great edge. Now you know which FVGs work or don't. Well, yeah. Fair value gaps are just momentum. They're momentum plays where the market makes a big impulsive move, which is the cornerstone to finding my levels in the morning. For those of you that follow my levels on Discord every morning, if you guys looked at the levels from this morning, had a very hard time finding levels this morning, and that to me already indicates I'm kind of going into the market with a more range mentality on the market, just because they're in an area that's been balanced out pretty well. We did have an up move today, but it doesn't really matter because we're just getting right back into the range. We break out of the 25,980s, or we break down to the 25,600s. Then we've got a trending day, but right now this is all range. It's just the morning move to the upside at least was able to create some pockets of unbalanced volume, which is one I already identified. Well, I've identified several of them already. But I think if you're just trading fair value gaps, in the sense of just a 3-candle pattern, man, I don't know. I find that very difficult. What time frame is the right time frame? The 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 3 minute, the 15. There's going to be gaps, different gaps in all these different time frames. It's my issue with orb strategies is, someone's got a 5 minute, a 10 minute, a 15 minute, a 30 minute orb strategy. And eventually you're going to be like, well, which one do I trade? You got to incorporate volume into really everything or anything. Because the 20 range isn't going to give me a confirmation. That's just going to give you a candle. I'm not looking for just a candle to go up. I need delta to confirm my entry. And my levels are mapped out on the 5 and the 15 with my TPs typically mapped out on the 1, unless the NQ sometimes I got to go down to the 30. So that doesn't really help me. Simplest way to trade, and I gave this strategy, I uploaded the strategy to my volume masterclass as a bonus content for those that have already purchased it. I want to say thank you so much for the support there. Your simplest strategy, guys, and this works every day, every single day. Jump down to the 15 and the 5, and just map out your levels. You know, I could make a case right here of a 15-minute level, but I won't because this is the 830 move. I don't put a lot of weight into that. Today, I'll be honest with you, there wasn't a lot of levels just because of what I was explaining earlier. But your simplest approach to trading would be, you know, let's just say this wasn't the 830 candle. Well, we know that if I put a line right here, okay, and I'm going to change this here to a 15-minute level. I like to keep everything concise. So that's my 15-minute level there at the 25,742. Not the greatest level. And this is not a real level because you got to remember that that this is a scenario where this was the 830 candle. I definitely don't even like this little wick here that happened here, but I go into that a lot into the videos. But the easiest, let me just jump back here to the 1. We're getting kind of close to this zone that I might be interested in taking a trade here. I'll jump back into what I was talking about. But it's really this most simplest strategy. It's super effective. And it just fucking works. Almost tapped into my area there. That would not have been a footprint confirmation for me anyways. And this area down here, this is a really nice, very primed for one right here. Can't wait to get to that, down to that one. Mm-hmm. It's a pretty decent reaction there. Right, this now has kind of lost its muster there because it did tap into a good amount of volume right there. I don't know, maybe it's enough for it to reach the IB high. I'm not sure. We will see. I think I'm going to sit this one out. I'd much rather be positioned down here. All right, so with that being said, let me just get back into my my little talk here. So what are we trying to accomplish with these levels? We're looking for areas that have an impulsive move, okay, that break structure. So it's got to break structure. This one did not really break structure. So again, this is a shitty example. I already told you that this morning the levels were not the greatest. So you know what? Why give an example on a shitty example? Let's see if we can find something here that makes sense. Might have to go to Friday. Let's see if there's anything good. Okay, so like perfect examples of what I teach in the masterclass. To find a 15-minute level, this would be right here, a level. It did break structure. I would be putting my line here, but this here would not be a 15-minute level because this candlestick right here, what did it do? It balanced out all of the volume that I want the reaction to come from on the next move. And right here, perfect example, doesn't even respect this level at all because this move, this level right here, did not have the legs to break structure on its own. It needed to balance volume out prior to breaking some structure, minor structure. So this here, never be a level for me. Let's see if I can find something good. This does not break structure. This breaks structure, but this balances volume prior to the move, so there's nothing there that I would be interested in. So let me just go to a different day. Why am I locked out here? I want to give you guys an example. Okay, well, let's just pretend that this had better structure. Like we did break structure. I mean, we broke some minor garbagey structure here. One idea that you can always have when you put in your 15-minute levels, and I map these out every single morning. I map them out for gold, ES, and the NQ, and I post them. Those levels, if you want, just use those. And a good trick to find break of structure, just move over to a line chart, and you can see that your level that you just created here broke structure. Okay, so it broke this little minor structure here, broke this little minor structure here, broke this little minor structure here. It did not break the bigger structure up here, but we know that that level at least is in the right spot. Okay, Now, for the reasons that are very indicated, it's a shitty 15-minute level. But I'm just trying to give you some examples. Now, if this was an A+ 15-minute level, meaning it broke structure and had what am I looking for? Had no candle that came back and wicked into that area on the move to the upside. All you got to do is, if you're on a 15-minute level, stay on the 15-minute candlestick, wait for a candlestick to cross this 15-minute level, and then to get a closure above it, a candle confirmation, and trade it from there. Wait for the 15-minute candle to close, take your entry at the top of the candle, stop goes at the bottom of the candle, and at a butt-ass minimum target 1-to-1. You can go 1 to 1.5, 1 to 2, but 1 to 1 is a great start. And the same thing on the 5-minute. So if you jump down to the 5-minute, you find the exact same levels, exactly what the 15-minute, what you're looking for. So this would be a better indication here of a 15-minute level. So let's say we've got a level there at the 5-minute. Now this would have a 15-minute as well. So I would not be mapping a 5 and a 15 in the exact same area. It would be the 15, because that's going to give you even more confidence in the trade because it's on the higher time frame. So now you would wait, if you've got a 5-minute level here, if you've got a 5-minute level here, now you go on to the 5-minute chart, wait for the candle to tap into your level and see how it reacts. If you get a closure below it, take the trade, take the short, stop at the top of the 5-minute, 1 to 1, 1 to 1.5. It's the simplest strategy in the world, and it's so effective, and it's so easy to implement. And then if you're wondering to yourself, man, I don't even know if I'm doing these levels right, or I don't know if this is what Rob would be doing, just go on my Discord, and every morning it's posted. Every single morning. I've been doing that for over 2 years. Now, today is not the greatest example, just because of what I've explained. Today there was maybe a few 5-minute levels. There was really nothing new on the 15-minute that I saw. And again, that just kind of gives me an indication of the day where we think we're just kind of going to be stuck in a range here. See how the order book is looking at the 933s. All right, got a decent chunk of volume. 38s. All right, so this is good. This is good intel right here. So the 38s, let's call it the 40s. There is some volume sitting there, and I want to really map this guy out because this looks interesting to me. All right, so this is the 1 minute. Oh, what's going on there? Oh. Okay, I see you now. I see you. All right, so this in this area, again, I hate to say this because, you know, it's 15 points on the NQ comes pretty quickly. On this particular, I don't know, it looks pretty good on the volume profile there. On this particular setup, I'd be a little weary of a resting limit order, just because there's a lot of juicy volume that the market could come right up, and it's only about 7 points away. So I would maybe wait for something a little bit stronger up here. We just went into an unbalanced area right there. Got a little reaction there. Now this level right here got tapped in here, got tapped in here, got tapped in here. So that would be nothing I'm gonna be really looking for at that point. Oh yeah, just popped over there. Did get the tap. Let me see if you got a confirmation here or not. It's not looking at, oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful footprint confirmation right here. Shit. So that's what I was saying. I mean, that's like an A+ confirmation. I was dicking around with gold and Q over here. But that was an absolute textbook footprint confirmation right there. 73 positive delta, red footprint, and got you your TP1. I know. I hear you. Sometimes, you know, we find enough setups per day to not be too worried. All right, YouTube, I'm going to call it a day for you guys. I'm going switching over to the Signal service. I'll be live with them for about another hour here. Wishing you guys the absolute best. Stay patient here. Be very careful here at this IB high trade. You know, this resting limit order today might be a little tough. You do have some support about 7 points above you. So if you get a footprint confirmation up here, that's going to maybe be your best bet. But I would definitely be looking for either candle confirmation on the 1 minute or footprint confirmation there. So if you haven't liked the stream, I appreciate it. Mapped out 3 setups for you guys here this morning, all for TP1, TP2, and I think the ES is still trying, but we'll see. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow at